Fishing on the El Patron at Catalina Island was incredible for calico bass as the bass came out to chew.
Really good bass fishing, everybody. Oh, another nice bass. Oh, nice calico, Michael. You are bit up today. Nice bass.
Thanks.
Michael, good job, man. You must have 10 fish by now. Caught that.
That's slipping at 10.
All right.
Number 10. All right, congrats.
Springtime in Southern California has brought warmer waters to Catalina Island and along with it some brisk, excellent calico bass fishing. Lighter line, a good hot anchovy, and changing that bait regularly will produce more and more fish. Great fishing for calico bass on the El Patron from Long Beach Sport Fishing as everyone on board had a spectacular day. Adventures family member extraordinaire Michael Burke had a tremendous fishing trip to Cedros Island in Baja California, and he showed us that there's two ways to skin a cat. He drove all the way down to Punta Eugenia, where he would grab a panga and go over to Cedros, only to return every single night. He said the fishing was tremendous on 25 to 35-pound yellowtail. He caught his personal best of 41.5-pound yellowtail, and he went home with over 300 pounds of yellowtail. Michael drove down to Punta Eugenia and then took pangas across, contributing to the local economy and having the fishing trip of a lifetime. Michael proved there's two ways to skin a cat and fish Cedros Island. Had a spectacular trip down the Baja coast, a great drive, and spectacular fishing. Way to go, Michael. Please don't forget to support the Friedman Adventures family members who make this all possible, like the taxman, Tim Marquez, and your garage door man, Joe Welker, who does a great job and gets rave reviews here at Friedman Adventures. Heating and or air conditioning needs, it's our dear friend John Lopez, and also the Island Spirit, Ventura Sport Fishing. You can't beat it. Chris Isaac and the El Patron out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org.
Hey everybody, welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. And fishing right now is red hot. What a great day we spent on the El Patron yesterday at beautiful Catalina Island. It was spectacular. The bass fishing was off the hook, just steady action. Yeah, it wasn't all legals. In fact, it was mostly shorts, but the action was stupendous. There was a little bit of barracuda and bonita. We'll cover that. We're also going to talk about our bluefin tuna bite as we're starting to move up on the full moon. Will that have an adverse effect on the bite? Another way to fish Cedros Island. Michael Burke, thanks for sharing that with us all on the lead-in. And of course, the Southern California surf, Wayne Shimabukuro. He started to catch more and more fish yesterday. I've got some surf fishermen here on the beach with me this morning. We'll cover that. And of course, so much more, including great white sea bass fishing in the Channel Islands and lots more. You know what time it is. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Man, is that good. And is it great to be with you all. It's cold down here this morning. I won't say cold, but it is definitely cooler, no doubt about it. Kind of dreary, as you can see. And it seems like our surf is up a little bit. I can see the surfers down here enjoying this beautiful morning. All right, let's ask you all, or thank you all for all the likes you give us here at Friedman Adventures. I took a quick peek at our Facebook statistics, and we're up over 1.5 million views the past 28 days on Facebook alone. So thank you for all you do for us. Hit that like button, share these videos with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe to the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel. Tick that rotten, filthy, disgusting, despicable little bell, and you'll be notified when there is new content. And you can follow us over there on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. What a day it was yesterday for all of us on board. And I want to thank John Lopez from Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning. John's a spectacular human being, a big sponsor of the Freedman Adventures YouTube channel. And I'll tell you, John brought out a group of anglers, kids and adults. They couldn't have been any nicer, couldn't have had any more fun. And the El Patron crew out of Long Beach Sport Fishing did it again. So polite, so great on deck. We had such a good time fishing with Captain Adrian Chavez and his great crew yesterday. That certainly was a lot of fun. All right, let's get into it with you, and let's start south of the border. I just want to talk about my friend Michael Burke, a Freedman Adventures family member extraordinaire because he's so supportive in everything I do, and I can't thank Michael enough. Instead of flying into Cedros, as you saw in the lead-in, Michael, of course, drove down to Punta Eugenia. So he's on the Baja Peninsula. He jumps on a panga and then goes out to Cedros, fishes, comes back every single evening. That has certain advantages to it. Number one, you get to drive the Baja Peninsula and experience Baja hospitality, the wonderful people there, the great sights, sounds, and everything else about driving down the Baja. And then the other advantage is you can take back an awful lot of fish, and Michael did just that, bringing back over 300 pounds of yellowtail because he gets to drive it home. Of course, when you fly into Cedros, there are limitations on how much fish you can bring back, and he really had the trip of a lifetime with a 41.5 pound yellowtail, his personal best. Most of the forkies he caught were in the 25 to 35 pound class. So stupendous fishing down there at Cedros Island in Baja California. And I don't know how it can get any better than that. Michael, thanks for sharing that with us all. Independent sport fishing, their latest 8-day trip was spectacular. Big yellowfin tuna biting down there around the Lejos Rocks. That was a tremendous bite for them. And they finish up putting the hurt on the bluefin tuna. Long range fishing right now, spectacular. It's just taking off where it left off last year around this time with great yellowfin tuna fishing, lots of yellowtail down the beach there also, several hundred miles, and then coming up and finishing off on this bluefin tuna. And the grade of bluefin, as I'll get into with you in a moment, has been spectacular. Don't forget, kids fish free tomorrow on board the Island Spirit out of Ventura Sport Fishing. We were just up there on the Island Spirit. We had the time of our lives with Captain Daniel Hadaway, Paulina, my co-host from Mexico, drove all the way up from Ensenada to partake with her lovely mother, Berenice. We had a great time, no question about that. So if you want to jump on the Island Spirit, give them a call at 805-676-3474. Say hi to Saul for me, or you can visit them on www.venturasportfishing.com. Our bluefin tuna bite, still very, very good, but showed some signs of sputtering last night a little bit. Some guys got them and some other guys struggled. In fact, a few guys really struggled. Jeff Lingle, who's an incredible source for us here at Freedman Adventures. Jeff, good morning to you, my friend. He said it was a tough night last night on the bluefin tuna. He got a few fish, but overall a much more difficult night. He said he had trouble keeping the bluefin staying with him. They'd swim off all the time. By the time their jigs got down to depth, those fish were out of there. So something's up, and Jeff surmises could be the full moon is starting to have an adverse effect on the bite. The Pacific Dawn had a daytime bite yesterday, catching 20 to 40 pound bluefin tuna. Not a ton of them, but a little signal that perhaps we're getting ready to transition into the daytime bite. Now, as you well know, if you've been listening to us here on Freedman Adventures, the early spring, right up until about now, and even a little bit later, is mostly a nighttime bite on the bluefin tuna. We found that on our Apollo trip. We didn't try for daytime fish, but the nighttime was spectacular. As you well know, if you've watched the videos we've dropped here recently, we had an incredible trip on board the Apollo. A lot of fish up over 50 pounds, many up over 100 pounds, some pushing 200 pounds, but all at night. That's what we've been seeing on this bluefin tuna. Water seems to have to warm up just a little bit more until we'll see that daytime bite manifest itself. So we're watching it all very, very closely. Sounded like a little bit tougher night with some guys still coming through with excellent action. All right, let's cross over here into the United States. Well, almost into the United States. At least the landings that go to the Coronado Islands are in San Diego, California, and they're finding more and more yellowtail down there in that neck of the woods, but still kind of scratchy. The San Diego yesterday had 6 yellowtail. The Liberty had 4 yellowtail. There's rockfish. There's a little bit better bass fishing going on there also right now. But overall, we're seeing more fish than we're actually catching at the Coronado Islands. Speaking specifically about jurel, or yellowtail, as we call them in English. So once again, pretty good signal there, but it has yet to really rock and roll. Sometimes we'll catch some of that big bonito as it's zooming around the Southern California coast. We're seeing more and more of it. They're beautiful gray bonito. Love catching those things, and a lot of anchovy for bait right now. It seems like we're into that cycle. We're starting to change once again. Tootsie report for you all. The Tootsie report says this feels kind of cold to me, but we'll see, because I know Wayne Shimabukuro had a spectacular day yesterday fishing the Southern California surf. So once again, that is what is going on at the Coronado Island, San Clemente Island. Good rockfish there, occasional bass, sea bass, and halibut. Pretty good calico bass fishing if you go over there as a private boater. Many boats are not even fishing that. They're either offshore fishing the bluefin tuna, or they have been focused in on other islands. That Channel Island bite's still strong. We'll talk about that in a moment also as that continues along. Catalina Island, there's really good calico bass fishing and signal there as we experienced yesterday. Good morning, you guys. We experienced some really good bass fishing yesterday as the bass came out to play for us on the El Patron. What a great trip that was. There was some short barracuda mixed in there, a couple of big bonito. It was a spectacular day on the water. A lot of that has to do with the people that were there and the crew of the El Patron, but it was lots of fun. And Catalina Island just shows signs of progressing and moving ahead. There is an interview up with Captain Adrian Chavez right now, and Adrian talks a lot about what he's been seeing and what he thinks will happen in the future. He takes a look at Catalina Island and goes into great depth. Highly recommend you not only watch the video of our trip, but also you listen to Adrian. He's a fountain of knowledge, super good guy. And man, I tell you, we had an awful lot of fun yesterday. Our great friend Nick Ramirez. Nick is a great Freedman Adventure family member. He loves the outdoor. He provides great content on Facebook. He's doing a great job out there. He was on board the Pursuit the day before, and he had a nice halibut or two. He was really doing well. He said choosing a good hot bait makes all the difference in the world. And he said drop that fluorocarbon down to 15 and you'll get more bites. But he had a lot of fun there. On board the Pursuit yesterday, they had 10 legal halibut. Nice hit for the Pursuit there out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro, California. And they had a white sea bass to go along with that. Along the Southern California coast, one thing that is very encouraging is we're starting to see more and more sand bass. Are they the migratory fish that are going to provide us with a summer of fishing fun for sand bass? I'm not sure, but the Victory had just short of limits of sand bass out of Long Beach sport fishing yesterday. Not a darn thing wrong with that. There's still plenty of sculpin and rockfish with the Monte Carlo yesterday out of 22nd Street. Also had some pretty good calico bass fishing. Not wide open, but showing signs that the springtime bite is about to happen, and we absolutely love that. Don't forget, if you want to go to Catalina Island, the El Patron is at your service. www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron. So we're liking what we're seeing here with this local sand bass here in Southern California, and also all the rockfish and sculpin in case you need to add to your catch, or in case you need to get bailed out because the surface fish didn't bite. Well, that is also available. You know, with that sand bass starting to show up, I'm also starting to think maybe, just maybe, we're going to see barracuda bite here shortly here in Southern California. Up there in the Channel Islands, tremendous white sea bass fishing on the Mirage, the Endeavor. Those boys continue to catch white sea bass. May not be as wide open as it was, but it's still pretty good up there out of Santa Barbara. They had, I think, 7, 8 white sea bass on the Coral Sea. Lots of lings and rockfish. You can always bank on that up there in the Channel Islands. The Island Spirit's been doing great out of Ventura Harbor sport fishing with Daniel Hadaway, and they have their Kids Fish Free trip mañana, Sundays. Kids Fish Free. Call the landing. Say hi to Saul. Get on the Island Spirit, 805-676-3474. Up the coast to the Avila Beach and Morro Bay area. Tremendous lings and rockfish and big quality stuff. Monterey equally as good. Lovely Martha sport fishing out of San Francisco, California, with some really excellent fishing on stripers and halibut. That has been super great fishing. Your Southern California surf fishing headquarters, and there's some good surf fishing going on right down there in the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Seal Beach Boulevard is Big Fish Bait and Tackle. They've got all the bait and tackle you'll need to fish right here in the Southern California surf. I highly recommend you drop by there. They've got everything else also. Long range, bluefin, yellowtail, white sea bass. They got all that you'll need for a successful day. Right down there, the Bolsa Chica Beach area. We saw Wayne Shima Bakuro yesterday with some tremendous fishing on a mix of fish. In fact, his high tide group, the guys that he fishes with on a regular basis, had over 30 fish yesterday. A mix of barb perch and yellowfin croaker and spotfin croaker and corbina. I don't know if I left out a few species, but Wayne had a spectacular day yesterday down there by the water tower. That's Anderson Street, Pacific Coast Highway. It's been pretty darn good. And these guys that I'm watching behind me here, I haven't seen them catch anything. You know, I could miss it while I'm chatting with all of you, but I will tell you that they're not here unless they're catching. Of course, they could have caught yesterday and come down here today and missed today. But when I see those guys specifically, I know who those guys are. They are catching fish. And previously, 5 days ago or so, they were catching some good spotfin croaker here on the beach. Some guys catching those spotfin using ghost shrimp. Other guys dig up sandworms, or they purchase their worms down there at Big Fish Bait and Tackle. All right, my friends, I don't know what to tell you other than fishing is great in Southern California. If you look at the long-range weather forecast and really can't bank on that, we could have some wind offshore next weekend. So we'll keep our eyes on that and see what happens. For the time being, it might get a little breezy offshore, but it's going to be fishable and should be good. And we might see some barracuda pop in here. That sand bass signal, really great. And a great day at Catalina Island with the elf, Greg Bates. He's been missing in action for a long time. And he showed up yesterday, and it was good to see Greg and spend some time with him. Great day on the El Patron. All right, my friends, what can I tell you? It's a beautiful morning here in Southern California. I can't thank you enough for spending time with me, and I hope to see you really, really soon.